it sounded like to me tonight that your kids, you talked about how important it is to listen, and I think they took to heart that maybe going over 17 from three-point range isn't a good thing here at Purdue. You maybe need to throw the basketball inside. You made it difficult to guard tonight going inside and then throwing back out. Let's talk about how important it was to get AJ and those other bigs going.
Yeah, well, I think, you know, for us, I think it really would have been an unbelievable game for us to grind it out and be over 17 and still win. Even nobody wants to do that, but we still could have accomplished that goal if our effort was better and we played smarter. And we just didn't. And hopefully we can learn from it. I thought tonight our patience was better. I thought we were more selective. And that's hard for guys. You know, it's hard for them to pass up shots they feel they can make, but the percentages say they're not making. And you have to do what's best for Purdue. And I thought tonight we did a better job of getting the ball inside and driving in, just getting a better shot. And then, you know, following a scouting report. You know, they're not a three-point shooting team, and we want to keep the ball in front of us and stop the ball. And, you know, allow them, not allow them, but if we're going to give up anything, give up a perimeter shot.
Matt, how much of a trust factor do you have in Drew?
Well, I think, you know, first of all, I've made a huge mistake not playing him. I think that's the one thing as a coach, you know, you have to openly admit when you make mistakes. Because he simply plays harder than the other guys. He carries out his assignments. He's just solid, you know, and you need that in a team sport. You need people being just solid. But there's no doubt, you know, you always trust guys that try to do what they, you know, what you ask them to do. And we always joke, Ryan Smith's our student assistant now, but you know, the title of his book would just be Job Security. There's not a bunch of guys out there that will do that. There's always a place for somebody that will do exactly what the boss wants to do. And, you know, and you really don't value those guys as much as you should until they're gone. And I think that's the true value of a player, is when you don't quite realize some things, and then when they're gone, man, do you miss it. And we miss that. You know, we don't have enough substance on this team. I think it's there to come out, but they don't allow it to come out because they don't have the discipline and the patience sometimes. And that's what we got to work on. That's my job. But I'm proud of Drew. There's a lot of guys, you know, they pout when they don't get opportunities. Then when they do get one, they're not ready. You know, he's not that way. You know, he was raised the right way, and he understands the big picture. And when his number's called, he's ready to go. I just, you know, it's fun watching, and it's fun coaching guys that play hard. And we haven't had enough of that.
Coach, there seemed to be a noticeable difference between the veteran group, and even AJ was part of that veteran group out there, and the reserves that got in there. When you got sloppy, you ended up calling a timeout.
Right.
Did you have to address some of those younger kids about always being focused regardless of the score?
Well, you know, I think, you know, you would like each one of them to play with that group. You just can't do that, or they're not going to. There's not enough minutes to play. You'd like them to be that piece of the puzzle to do that, but we have too many people trying to do things either they're not capable of, or they don't understand the situation and it's not there. They have the ability to do it, but they're not thinking it through. It has to be there. You know, to drive the basketball, there must be an opening. And that's just one example. Sometimes there's 2 or 3 people there, and we still have guys that drive the basketball. We've got to pass it then and get better movement. But there's no question that when we had a lot of those guys in that one stretch, one of them got really fatigued, and a couple other ones just had some basic mistakes that hopefully they can learn from.
Now, you've talked a lot about, you have a lot of post players, not enough minutes to go around to satisfy everybody. Explain why it doesn't make sense to redshirt somebody like Jay Simpson rather. Now, I know it's too late now, but rather than playing 7 minutes a game, which is what he was averaging coming into tonight, wouldn't it be better to have him as a 23-year-old playing 30 minutes a game?
I think you could argue that you're correct. There's 2 ways to look at it. I look at it a lot the way you just said it more than I do which I'm getting ready to say, which I'm doing right now. I just didn't think we had enough people that could score. I thought he could play the 4 and the 5. He can play inside. He can play outside. His minutes are fewer because of his cardiovascular. He can't play over 3 to 4 minutes. He just can't. He just ran into the ball tonight. Did you see that? He fell over Drew, literally. And you got to understand, he started this mess at 280, and he's at 242.
It doesn't look bad.
So no, but he still does that. So in a real situation, there's no way I'd let him stick that long. You got to try to keep pushing his wall. So he would play more if he was in better shape. He's not. Hopefully, it can get a little bit better. I don't think it's coming overnight. I just thought he was too good to redshirt. I just didn't think we had enough weapons scoring the basketball on this team to leave him alone. But there's no doubt that what you say right there, I'm a big believer in that, having him for 30 minutes. But there's also a part of you argue that DJ Bird only has one senior year, and why not do what's best and have all your bullets for his senior year? So there's two ways to look at that. That doesn't mean I'm right or you're right.
Matt, a lot of the kids on your team might not even really be old enough to remember the last time a night was here in Mac Arena. What was it like for you having a night on the other side?
Well, for us, we just try to prepare for the other team. From a personal standpoint, he's a friend of mine, and has been for a long time. So I'd prefer, not to play friends. It was not fun for me to play against Bruce Weber in Illinois. That wasn't fun at all. A lot of people don't realize that unless you can kind of go through it. But he wanted to do it, and he wanted to get back here for recruiting purposes and play against a Big Ten team, and a lot of different factors there. And then obviously we're trying to fill our schedule. But no, he's a good friend. But I don't enjoy that. That's not. I'm sure you'd rather win than lose. And you're probably going to when you're at home and you have games of this nature.
And what do you guys need to do about where do you guys need to go in terms of becoming a more consistent team, just in all areas?
Well, I think our effort needs to be better. I just think we can play harder. And I think it really stood out tonight when you watched Drew Anthony, because he's playing harder than our other guys. Tyrone Johnson's made strides in that area, but he's still got to get better. He's got to get around the ball more. He's got to rebound more. With that being said, he had 10 and 7 rebounds the last 2 games. He can do more. And he's improved his game. He's improved his shot. He's improved his free throws. We just need him to kind of impose his will on our team. DJ Bird, for us, I thought did a great job tonight because he was trying to do what we were asking him to do. We don't need him to do the heavy lifting every single night, but he's going to have games like he had at Clemson. He's going to have games like he had last year at Minnesota and at Ohio State, but it's not going to be every night. He can do other things to help us win. I thought tonight he was solid, and being solid is a good thing. But more than anything, I just think our effort's got to be better, and we have to be smarter. We just have too many careless turnovers. So just playing harder and playing smarter, in general.
Anything else for Coach? Thank you.
Thank you.